Hi, welcome here at the Nimbus headquarter in Langedrag in Göteborg, Sweden. We're having mid-March 2023, and this is a video which we just did before, but we forgot to make the intro about the new Nimbus 465, which will be launched next year. I did go, but I'm going for the intake with Joachim Gustafsson, the Chief of Design at Nimbus, who I did a video already about the 465 in Düsseldorf Boote in our media container with. We're gonna go, and I know it now, it's about 2.5 hours long, through every detail, every idea, what we both have on the Nimbus 465. So it's a very, probably for some people very tiring video. So if this is tiring for you, you're not probably the right viewer for that because it's so technically. But for these ones who are thinking about buying maybe such a boat, or who are just really Nimbus enthusiasm, this is absolutely the right video. It's aimed to all customers, potential customers all around the world. It is made for all my colleagues inside of the Nimbus family, inside of the dealer family. So this video is not for me as Boote Polch. It's made for everybody. Everybody should use it to get a feeling how amazingly nice this product is going to be and how much thinking is being put in. And let's go inside now, meeting Joachim and having very technically amazing 2.5 hours. See you soon. So Joachim, it's a pleasure to sit here with you in the headquarter of Nimbus. I've been telling this in Düsseldorf already, but I just want to rehab. So it's you and me, we have a long history already inside of Nimbus. And it's like Langedrag really is here in Göteborg, is really the heart of Nimbus. And you are the proud boss of the quite huge design team already, which we referred in Düsseldorf to. And
Mats Jakobsen is
the Mats
boss
Jakobsen,
also.
yeah, the boss also, sorry. But sitting here with you now and continuing what we have started in Düsseldorf with in our media container, talking about the new Nimbus 465, the biggest project and probably the proudest project you have been working at Nimbus so far on. And sitting here with you now and going through that boat, being here with a customer, in fact. So what we do now, we and Frederick, your colleague, we have been doing before, going with a customer, a very potential customer, an existing customer who's a boater in Mallorca. And we went through all this because the boat is not existing yet. And this is the message we're going to generate here for viewers all over the world, probably interested in the project, is information. So this is not about funny music, crazy music, girls, sunsets and whatever. So this is like
maybe some.
Yeah, maybe some. Yeah, we're starting with a nice sunset picture there. So it's mainly facts, emotions, information behind the scenes. What is this is what the customers just had here, 5 hours sitting in here, going through a boat. And seeing how much detailing is behind and how much thought your team is putting into this to produce, to create a boat which is not at the market so far. I think this is a very important message, but which brings so many Nimbus genes, ideas together in the biggest boat you ever built.
Yep, that's true.
And from how we do it now, so there's a program, 3D program. So we have two of them. One is the design one, where you try to get the most feeling how the boat will be looking in reality. And then we have another one which we have been looking with these customers this morning, or near the whole day. The most is a more boring looking one, but it's all the details in there. And we're gonna swap now in between these two programs, and we're going to walk through the whole 465, going in every detail and trying to, without anybody being live asking, because that would have been too complex, but my side as a salesperson trying to ask the most questions
which could be interesting for potential customers in Germany, but that's why we do it also for sure in English, all over the world. But also getting your message out. So I'm like a guy a little bit in the TV to suck information out of your brain. What is it all about, and on why we are all very, very eager to have that boat as soon as possible at sea and see what has been created here inside of Nimbus. And I think this you can be very proud. It will be built in Sweden.
Yes.
To start with something very basic but very important, it will be built in your main shipyard in Mariestad.
Yes.
And it's developed here in Sweden. So you can use that in the past quite often. At the moment, not so much, but it's made in Sweden. So
that's for sure.
In the head of your team, and will be produced.
Yeah.
So we have here. This is a photo montage. The boat, which has originally been there, was a T11 on that photo.
Yeah.
I have been driving it. So maybe we just start with the idea again, because this boat has. It's not looking like a blew up coupe. It's a new design, completely new for sure. It needs to be, but it still has loads of elements which Nimbus owners, Nimbus enthusiasm can see in this boat to be respected.
Yep. And that was the main idea. If we're going to build a bigger coupe, it should be all the qualities we think a coupe boat has, with the saloon as the main part of the boat, and the saloon should then also have a lot of light and should be very nice to stay in. And then there's loads of ideas how you make that saloon good for not only the driver but also the passengers. So we'll go through that later on. And otherwise, as you see, it's a little bit different look from the other coupes. And what we're trying to achieve is actually just to move a little bit forward but still have the history with us. So you can see the hull windows, they are with the same design and look as for the VTC series, and we kept the huge roof window, same as we have a 405 flybridge. So there are elements that we brought with us to give.
But you give it more yacht.
That
feeling.
was the whole idea.
It's the first yacht. I would say you're like
small yacht.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it should, the appearance should be more yacht-like rather than a small boat. So maybe we can see that also on some details we can show later on. That was the idea. And the most important thing that it should not be that big, so you can't handle it with a small crew. So
it should stay a two-person plus family members, friends ship, but it should be for two people as comfortable to be staying, 3 months on board,
and
traveling Europe, traveling the US, like a boat for a couple loving to stay at sea, but still not being hassled by the size of their boat.
Exactly.
When it comes to cleaning, mooring, maintenance, because it's always a compromise. It's a very boring sentence, I think, from my side, but I think it fits so well. Everything when you buy a boat is a compromise, and you need to find the best compromise for yourself. And in my world, if you have the financial possibility to do something like this, this possibility and want to stay long on board, this is the 15-meter range. Yep. As you also don't have limits then going inside waterways, you can travel all over Europe without any limitations by license, by moorings. It's a huge thing. 50-meter mooring is still affordable, so it's a good size.
Yeah, it is a sweet spot for many. So the competition is of course huge here in this. And why should we do a new one boat or give the world a new boat? But we have a lot of existing customers, that they wanted to grow, they wanted something bigger, and then they still wanted the Nimbus, but there were no.
Yeah, and they wanted a functional boat. They don't want they want the they have been looking, as this couple being here today, they looked at many boats from mainly English manufacturers, also some Italian in the last 10 years, because they have a Nimbus right now, but they never found, like when they ticked the box, these boats ticked some boxes, but never all these boxes which they have ticked now. Still they want to have a bigger boat than they have now.
Yeah.
So good. So let's let's go into.
The idea is now that we just have a walkthrough through this program, and I think we start just from the bathing platform, and we can discuss what the features are and the thoughts behind it. And you would, of course, as you used to do, talk and ask the questions.
Okay.
That's how you usually do it. And it's fine for me. It's good.
So we start that we have a huge bathing platform, which is optional to be a lifting platform.
Yes.
This is a very typical Mediterranean setup by people using this platform as a water sports or swimming platform to enter the water easier, and also to transport their dinghy. This is a quite expensive option. The prices are not all set yet, but I'm just saying, this is not something you just take because you don't know if you use it. So you should be, clear you want to use it, what it is. And you're going to park your dinghy on there. You're probably going to show some pictures soonish, and you're going to have. Now it's flat there. There's stair casing which comes out of the platform, and then we have an integrated bathing platform, and as well a complete rubber list around. So this is to be seen here. So we have a passerelle which is fully. This is very important. It's an option as well, important for the Mediterranean, which is fully retractable. Yeah. It goes fully inside. This is an old picture now from the bathing leather. The bathing leather is now also like a cassette.
Yes.
But in general, we can see like how huge the platform is, and maybe you can show it being down now. And there you can see that this stair casing is coming automatically out of the floor of the platform, so you can really go like not a leather going down in the water, and this platform can stay then even shallow at the water level, so you could. You can very easily go in the water. On a hot day, you could even lie on there a little bit in the water, lying on the beach. And there will be. I saw that in the option list, even gates as options around there. So you can even have at some point, like you need to observe it, but a child being there, whatever, having a gate there. So this is a typical Mediterranean option. Probably somebody going the Baltic Sea. Maybe we'll choose it, but in the Med, this is huge. And this platform sizing, we're having the full beam of the boat and probably a depth, I think, from about 2 meters. So this is not only, when the dinghy is in the water, it's not only a storage platform, it's also a place to stay. And that's why you have the wet bar there as an option.
That's an option, yes. So the wet bar option is looking like this. And it's a double function with that. Because now it's a hatch on this. So the hatch protects, if you're doing some grill or whatever you do on a wet bar. But I can show you here also that on the hatch, there's a drainage going right through to the sink underneath. So you can use this if you want to,
just prep, or you
prep
had fish,
or your fish or whatever. You can have it, and you can flush some water, and it will go in this drainage. So this is a double function. You can use this as a table for preparing stuff, like fish, or you can then have it here with the sink.
So you have a sink, and then we have a space for a grill.
For a grill, yes.
Gas or electric? Probably
electric.
Electric grill.
Yes. Yeah. So, but that's optional. If you don't use, you want to have the wet bar, then it's just the hatch, and then you have a huge storage space there. And this whole area you can also reach from this side.
So there's 2 big hatches as well.
2 big hatches.
And we looked this up before with the customer. So the complete length there of the storage down there is 2.50 meters. Yeah. It's like full length, so to store sun poles or really long stuff. and it has the width, as I remember, from 80 or a meter. I've even wrote it down somewhere. But it's a huge storage in there.
It is. So the idea is this is suitable for storing wet stuff also.
And for sure, there's gas springs. We saw that in the other drawing. They stay all open. This is not so. There's and we also have in there. Then you saw it in the other drawing. We have the shore power inlets are in there. So you can store all the cabling in there. It would be good for storing water toys, chairs, maybe to sit outside. Really, this is like a huge volume area, accessible neither with one hatch or a second hatch if you don't have the wet bar.
Yeah.
And then you added, this is in fact a step to go also directly from the bathing platform onto the port side walkway or reaching the cleat, so you can sneak yourself passing there.
And here is anti-slippery pattern over here, so it's easy to walk, and you can hold in this handle over here.
So this is something. This is, for example, the 305 or 365 gene.
Yeah.
No, 305 mainly. Sorry, 305 gene, where you have this very similar.
Yeah.
And then you have the fender storage.
Yeah. And this is for the quick fenders. You can store fenders inside here as well, but this quick fender storage underneath here.
And there's also, you know, details like a hook there to even hang ropes on this side. And I saw in the other drawing now there's even 2 cleats optional on the bathing platform still.
You can have it for cross mooring.
To a cross mooring or a tender fixing.
Yeah.
And then we're having the shower will be somewhere located here on the left side.
It will actually be standing here, in between her.
It will be like a shower pole where you can, you know, stand there and have a proper shower like we know that from home. I think the best would be if you just swap in the other program so we can see this detail, because it's very much there. Perfect. So the cleats are there now, as I said before. There's and then we have the shower pole standing here in the middle, which will be for sure removable. And now without the wet bar, you can really see the huge storage inside. There was the 2 sockets, and this is and the storage for the life raft if you want to put it in there.
Good, and here you can also see the steps. So you step there. So it's
and then it's the pattern, as you said, on the anti-slip on the front.
Okay, good. And then we have the mooring. How do you do the mooring on this one? And you can see here that we have.
This is like really a yard setup. So you really, I think that there was some effort being put in this whole construction there, because it looks it looks very modern with this teak edge on the side, and it really fits the whole design of the boat. But the function is below, so
the function is always important. So this is when you're, you know, safe. Everything is moored. But when you start your mooring, you flip this up, and you do everything. You also have.
So you have a proper cleat. You have the winches are optional, so you have optional 4 winches, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. But then what you have is like these clues. I don't say in English, where they are rolling even. So to really give a good support of handling the boat in a tricky situation of heavy wind, or just mooring it up really proper.
Yeah. Okay. And there's also a hatch for this one for the.
So there we checked before. So that's each side is the diesel tank, and then in front of the starboard side, this is the waste tank, suck out, and on the port side we have the grey water suck out, because we have a grey water tank and the waste tank. Waste tank is standard on every boat, but we also have the grey water tank as standard. And if somebody wants to dump that at sea, which you probably need in certain areas in the Mediterranean because there's no suck out in every harbor, then there's an optional pump.
Yes. Okay, so now we talked about the bathing platform, and
we see loads of that material on the floor, which is in fact to mix a little bit the talking, because we don't want to do it on the computer. So the flooring we are seeing there now looks like teak. So the standard material we're having on the 465 is this material here. It looks like more or less like teak. It is a big percentage of this material is teak, in fact.
Yeah, it's actually teak powder or sawdust.
So it's
and then it's the PET bottles, the corks to the.
So this material is more or less put out of. Rubbish is maybe the wrong name, but it's with material which is over. So it's recycled material. So nothing, nobody got hurt. No environmental impact on this really to produce this.
No.
And this is the idea behind. And you have been testing that successfully. It comes from some of your main suppliers of wood, even. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not somebody new. So you have been working with this company, I think, for ages.
Yes.
And they have this new, and you have been testing that up here. So this is standard.
Yes.
Still, for staying conservative for certain markets, it will be available for an option as well with real teak, FSC teak, also out of farming teak, will be still as an option.
Mm. Yes. Okay. Moving forward all the way to the foredeck.
Stop. This is, I think, quite unique just from the outside. We will see it later from the inside. Yeah, very Nimbus typical. We have for sure a handle there, but we have this corner piece. We have been discussing this glass corner piece, and it's really nice how you can look into the interior now from this, because it's going around the corner. So you have a connection to the inside from the outside. This was not invented by you. You said that before. Somebody in Italy.
If you look at the super yacht business, everything has been done. Everything has been done. So it's.
I like that when you mentioned that. When I remember that after you said that, so that it comes somewhere from Italy. Yeah. So this is like Italian design converted in Scandinavian function.
Yeah.
So no, that I really
but
like.
But it's depends. But could be clever.
No, I really like it.
The salon, but it depends also if you maybe you lose some spaces if you have a high refrigerator or whatever. So it depends.
Yeah. So we're walking now on the main side deck. So this is, let's talk the coupe part of it. So we're having one little step here. So we're having two steps until we are to the front. Yeah. So we have a very wide side, we call it sidewalk. And what is unique on this boat now, we have an optional rubber list that was discussed before, that we need this, and this is also not final drawn, I think, from the color or whatever Jonas told me, but rubber list will be optional. You don't like it so much because you're a designer, but you respect the functional. In certain markets, it's just needed.
If but you see a sailboat, you never see a rubber. Right?
Yes, inside your own brand, Maxi. Maxi had rubber lists. But then we coming to an area which is for Nimbus also again fully 365. We have this glass fiber combination of an aluminium door with glass fiber elements with a proper lock on the side. We said we can maybe show this area again now in the little bit from functional in the other program, but I want to say because this door is very big. Yeah, I would like to have the measurements of that. We just swap there, and then we have again this door also in the sidewalk in the hull of the boat, and this is very cleverly done. It's not standing out really because there's a recess even in the hull of the boat, and there's even a place to hang some ropes for the middle cleat. So this is like these details I think which are very unique. But this door is in a recess and it's not standing out due to that.
Yes.
And and then we have the water tank, this sink to take all the water is also very Nimbus. From the coupe series. So it would be good because the door is, I think, from side door point of view, many manufacturers now having side doors, but if the others call themselves having side doors, I don't know how this is like a side opening or this is much more than a door. It's other boats have this in the back, and that's why I would ask you just to swap to the other program to get a measurement there. Yeah. This door is 120 wide. So everybody knows from the home, I think a normal door at home is 70 wide. If I buy a big door in the company to go through with a palette. It's 1 meter wide, and we are 120. So there will not be a traffic jam when 2 people passing each other. So it will open the salon, which I myself had the chance to have the experience, like on the Nimbus C11. It's similar. It brings the salon to the outside, or other way around, the outside to the inside. So it gives beside the back door, really the salon a connection to the outside.
True.
And then what I really like, because many of these side doors locks on other brands are like inside strange construction. So we have a proper side door with a proper lock, the typical Nimbus handle where you pull down, it stops in between. You can open it a little bit, or you can open it all way. When it's open all way, it will stay there. So no moving, no risk of failure. And this is this function thing we have been talking loads about, and the proper lock, so you can even leave your boat because you're moored forward from the side, lock it, and leave through that side door. And the middle cleat, really good accessible right there.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing something you've been also telling me about, is this where the Nimbus logo is.
Yeah.
This is your fish fin. Yeah?
It's my fish fin.
Yeah. and this is something which doesn't really have any. This is a design thing. It's not a functional thing, but it gives. It disconnects a little bit. I would say it underlines the B frame, and disconnects the helm from the salon without having any effect on the inside view. If you would put a column there, then it would be destroying the nice view inside.
Yeah, it's just a trick to balance the overall design, I would say.
Really, this is something which gives it a very cool look.
This is same with these. You can see these here. This is also unnecessary.
Yeah.
This is just styling,
Yeah.
but it gives the appearance that it's really, sturdy. This is, and I picked up this line also here. And it's teeth like this that hopefully in the end it makes that, it's been thought of, the line's been thought of.
What I would like also, again, because we talk about measurements, if we could swap again and measure the width of the sidewalk, because this will be, really wide, I think. And this is a measurement which is very interesting, I think. Yeah, thanks for, could you just swap to the other program again?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we're having 47 centimeters there. I did take your measurement away, but my hips are like about 40. So you can really walk like you would be on the street or whatever. So there's no limitation from the boat's size to make you doing a sidewalk thing, like going like this. So one step for the other, and this is very safe, especially at this place where the door is, and you have this door again in the hull, and then you have the handrail going all the way through. So there's a very safe walking. Plus you have a handrail all the way on the top as well. Yeah, we see it here.
Yeah.
So we have additionally all the way a handrail going parallel, even here on the back on the roof, if you need to step, for example, as you said, on the anti-slip, when you have probably a high pier somewhere and you're getting on board.
Yeah. Okay, should we move forward?
Yes, please.
So we go then to the foredeck.
Yeah.
And one detail here is, you can see here, there's a gap over here. And this is where you have some fresh air for the ventilation.
And the cabins down.
For the cabins down.
Okay, so it's a hidden.
The air intake is here. That's why it looks like it does. Well, then you have this foredeck, which is when it is like this without the table. Additionally, there's a table here. I will show it later on another picture. You have a lot of space for your feet to
Yeah, for the feet, it's when you're doing the anchor maneuvers, so you have space to freely move. Be also when you work with the ropes, so you can go on your knees or really. It's not like you need to squeeze somewhere. No. You have loads of room to work, whatever. And we have the big kluse again here. Then we have the two optional winches, as well as. The anchor box in the front. We will soon swap in the other program again. But we go first on the port side because we have there
Yes.
a big hatch where we can
also
store
on starboard and
starboard,
starboard,
so we can store fenders there
The table.
or cushions, what you want to use there, or even towels, or stuff you would like to use. Then we have a hatch in the front cabin there, or the port light, sorry, and below this cushion there is also a hatch, which we can also see in another program soon. And then we have two hatches, one hatch there in front of the window, which is ending in the guest toilet.
Yes.
And this is a light hatch which is going into the corridor downstairs. And then we have 6 wipers in the sun with interval system being typical Nimbus being up. So 4 in the front and 1 on each side. This is not drawn there, but I saw it in the other drawing. All with window wash of fresh water, truck wipers, and with interval. So for the best view you can have. And then from the anchor, we're having a 32 kilo ultra anchor. We have a 10 millimeter chain, 80 meters. So all like really proper stuff. And this is for me, my heart opens then, because I love being at sea. I love staying on anchor, and stuff you're having there, the size of the winch, the size of the chain, the size of the anchor. This, you could save so much money there. Other shipyards do, and then owners realize that after their 4th season, or maybe they stopped already boating because anchoring was always a problem. Because being on anchor safe is as important as an engine in my world. So there's 2 things which need to really work. It's the engine, and to be safe somewhere with your family, or especially with this boat you're staying over the night. And this is neither the winches set up, the cleats when you're in the harbor, or it's the anchor.
And then you also have the sun cushion mode. You can have this lifted
This is
up.
like something new for you guys. This is very Mediterranean style.
Everyone else does it, but now is the first time.
You do it. You do it.
Finally.
So, can we just go to the other program? Some of this stuff in the other program.
Yes.
Or first of all,
just show you quick that you can also have some sunshades on this one here. So this is
the setup we just had,
and then you can add
the table,
table and the sunshade.
And the sunshade in the front with 4 of the very well functioning carbon poles. They are now nearly all over the brand. In the VTC they started. Now we have them the coupe. They work very well because they give tension on the sun shade, and that makes it, especially when you have 4 poles, very easy, very fast to install, easy to take away. And it gives the material, which is a material with small holes, so the wind can go through, but it still gives enough shade. Makes it a very it stretches it, and it makes it not moving in the wind.
You wanted to see something on the other program.
Yes, I would like to. So we could just swap to the other program again. So just to see some more options though, so there will be a optional bow ladder as well, which can be stored in the anchor box, because this anchor box we just measured before has a height of 160. So it will be divided. In the port side, there will be the chain collected, there will be a divider in there, and then on the starboard side, there will be the other room. So if we have another picture of that again. Yeah, this one, perfect. So there you can see this is the divider down there. The chain is in a 45 degrees angle to the port side, and then on the right side again you could stand in there and even store again fenders, hang fenders, or putting this bow ladder in there. So a huge anchor locker, and then again if you see that, it's very understandable. So above the anchor winch itself there will be a box inlay, so you can store again stuff there, which we saw in the other drawing again. You can see the box there. We have the shore power inlets in the front and so on. But so there's 2 hatches from the top. One is a storage below the winch, which is accessible if needed. And then the other hand, we have really a huge area which is easy to access, again, because we have the possibility to take the table away there in the front. So everything like a good seamanship. The table we said before can be stored where the fenders were before on the port side. And then we have this new I think they're from this quick supplier, but these lamps which come out.
Pop-up
So
lamps,
we have
yeah.
pop-up lamps, so to have a nice, cozy feeling there in the evening, sitting in the front of the boat.
Yeah.
My personal most favorite place is in the front of the boat, because you're a little bit higher, you're a little bit away from the main construction of the salon, and this gives you very normally in the evening the boat, the wind comes from the somehow always the wind comes from the direction where the, not always but very often, where the sunset is. So it's like a place where you are and feel very, very cozy, very close to nature.
Yeah.
And this is why it's so nice, I think, that you're not just focused on the sunbed, that you also have this table in there in the front to underline this. It's an extra room.
Yeah.
So you have the flybridge, you have the aft deck, you have the inside, and you have the front deck also as a real social area.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And enterable from the front. We don't have the pulpit as we have it on the old coupés, but still, it's not like a front of a boat that others have, which is all closed. So we have an opening in the railing where you can really like step off board, as we know it, or in combination, especially with the bow leather, as we know it from all the range you have.
Yeah.
And then we're flying a little bit on the roof. Sorry?
I just mentioned that we also have a window.
Yes, this is again a huge size, electric, standard, and it's also the width like I think 90 centimeters something, so you can easily get with your, if needed, you could just go out there.
Send your kids.
Send your kids out there, to the port side. Yeah. No, but I want to go to the front part of the roof again. Yeah, there. Yeah. So we're having there a coupe typical thing, like 4 or 5 flybridge headed also, is this huge hatch, electric openable, a fixed part in the back, and the front part with a sunshade from below, all standard, completely openable, and this is very unique, I think, on the market. So you, again, everything is a compromise. You decided to reduce the volume or the square meter of the flybridge a little bit, which brings forward the design, the functionality, because the roof is not so heavy, or it's not so big, so it's not so heavy, so the seaworthiness, center of gravity down, but as well, it gives the interior, like in a flybridge boat is very often sandwiched in between cabin volume and flybridge space. And very often for manufacturers, something in this compromise needs to suffer. And this is very often not really the salon, it's very often the helm in the lower part. And here we have like a proper helm with the side door, we mentioned it already, the helm we will see later, but also then we have light to the helm, to the salon from the top with this huge hatch, plus a big ventilation possibility. So if you go in rather harsh conditions, you easily open a roof, but you're still not going to sit on the flybridge. And the flybridge is probably covered. There's a day which changing weather, so you have the side door open, you have the roof open, and you have an outside feeling, but you're still warm and cozy, where you not possibly could use a flybridge.
Exactly. So should we move up to the flybridge when we were talking
Have we
about
anything there on the port side? Yeah, we can see a little bit of the lightning there over the logo. This looks very cool, I think, there. Yeah. And then we have again here on the side, so the port sidewalk is not as wide. So we have an asymmetric design, again a Nimbus feature, which I think you were the first, you didn't invent it like in 2009 with the 365, but I think you were the first one doing it on a cabin boat. It was on the market before, to say going asymmetric, but not in this level as you or your team at this time, or you were part of that team at that time, realized it, like doing a small one and doing a wide one. Because again, compromise, 2 wide ones is not possible. It would be possible, but it would suffer the inside rapidly. But this is still wide enough, and I would like, because I know people are afraid of that, I would like to take the measure in the back and also in the most narrow point there in the front, if that would be possible.
Sure.
It's just stop before you change, which is very important. We also have a little rise there, so it's not oh, you're flying crazy now.
Sorry.
It's not a sidewalk where you're running on the top. You still have you know where your feet are because you have this little edge on the side, yeah? So yeah, exactly. This is probably even 10 centimeters high or even more. And then you have a width of, so now we can just swap as you measured, from 35 or 34 centimeters, and we just measured it in this little short narrow part there. This is the design part. It's at 25 at this area. So there's probably one step to do where it's a little bit narrow, and then it's get wider again. Yeah. But all the way to the front, it's even getting higher than. So in German you say Süllrand. I don't know how you even say that in English, but you're all the way running safe. Yeah. You can grab on the top, you can grab the handrail, and your feet always know by touch of the side where you are.
Yes.
And there is also this typical Nimbus drainage again, where all the water captured from the sidewalk will be going in before it could go into the cockpit.
There's actually one more here. This wasn't tricky. There is one more huge one down here as well. You see that one?
Okay, there's another one, yeah, but all the sidewalk will be taken from
the stairs.
Yes.
And so on.
So let's go on the flybridge. Ooh, crazy flying.
Okay, so we move up here.
Yeah, so we have a mixture out of a leather, which is not really a leather because it's a stair, but it's standing free. This is needed because you need access to the engine room. This is needed to make it looking light. You decided not to do this big glass fiber staircasing, but it's very similar from the feeling of walking because it's very deep. Yeah. Each of the it's not a leather. It's a staircase.
Yeah, it is.
And then it changes into a normal staircase, more or less halfway going upstairs.
Yes.
So being up here, we're having very different. For example, first of all, we're having what I like really much on the flybridge. We are sitting in the middle. Because in the middle, like downstairs, I really like to be starboard. And on the flybridge, it's nice to be in the middle from the visibility as well. It gives you a very good feeling. And then we have one co-driver seat. We're having the option. Let's talk about the options. We can go standard is 112-inch Garmin, or it's a Volvo Penta glass bridge, but it's in fact a Garmin unit. Yep. So because the boat is very high equipped standard with joystick and several Volvo Penta features, so that's why I decided to go with the Garmin or with the glass bridge Volvo Penta plotters, and the standard is 112-inch up there. Optional is the second one, and the maximum optional level is 216-inch plotter, which would fit up there. This is depending of the usage of the owner. Then we have this fully multifunctionally steering wheel. We're having cup holders. We're having a cool integrated handle, I think, there. You could have just put a standard handle, but this is like an L profile. Yeah. It makes the helm looking very modern. And then we have something which is a little bit car level. We have like a Mittelkonsole, I don't know how you say it in English, in the car, where you move the throttle and also very important functional like thrusters, joystick, and also the panel to use, because the plotters are touch plotters, but everybody knows at seas the touch plotter doesn't really work, especially when there's some water and so on. So you have the armrest, and it's all a little bit offset. So the just go a little bit out again. So the armrest is exactly in the line of the joystick, a little bit offset to the throttle, and as well to the thrusters, which is a proportional bow thruster as standard, proportional stern thruster as option. Also, we have assistant docking from Volvo Penta as an option, joystick as a standard, and then we have this small panel there. This is the Garmin / Volvo Penta unit. This is now the Simrad one, but there will be probably the change. This is one of the drawing to operate the plotter. So everybody knows the plotter. They have these hybrid plotters where you have touch and on the side this buttons, and they are moved there. So you can be sitting there and playing with the plotters, zooming in, moving the cursor without needing to do this typical stuff like this. This is really a yard thing. On the even bigger yards, they even have that inside the armrest. That would be probably a bit too much.
Next boat.
Next boat, next size. But you move that very much towards the right arm, and this gives really, I think, makes the functional very, very high.
Yep.
And then we have a sunbed. We measured that also, a sunbed on the starboard side. This looks very short there in this perspective, but it's in fact when this cushion is taken away, so this cushion is probably 30 deep, but if this is away, this is exactly 2 meters long. If this cushion is 30 deep, then 170. But this can also be moved forward, which we probably will soon show in the picture. And then you have, when it's moved forward, a huge U sofa with a very special table you probably want to talk a little bit about.
I can just show you quickly the different flybridge modes here. So
we just saw this before.
This one is when you're lying here in the front.
Yes.
And then you move the back rest, and then you get the U sofa.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a little bit about the table. It's not the latest design.
No, we have made some changes. We have actually removed the cup holders in order to give better surface to put plates on. So the idea with this table is that it's a table, but it's also functional as a wet bar. So if you do serve some drinks or whatever, some ice or some lemon, you can prepare everything here on the table, and you can throw away stuff and wash up.
You did a much nicer story with the customers just being here.
I can't remember what I did.
Yeah, with the kids.
Yeah.
No, because you made her thinking after that.
Yes.
That was a good story. So tell me this one.
No, but it was just that it's
a separate area.
Separate area, and sometimes you want to sit there away from your parents. Maybe, I don't know. In this case, that was. So then they won't go down just to fill. Because
everywhere they go down,
water.
they get questions.
Exactly.
What are you doing up there?
So they can serve themselves and fix everything on the flybridge.
So it's like a wet bar table. So it's not a wet bar would be taking so much room, and this is like a combination out of two functionalities.
Yes. So compact living, you could say, on the
Then
flybridge.
I can see very much. I forgot. So we have a big storage in the back seating here. This is all storage.
Storage under here. Yes.
And if you just turn around 180 degrees. Sorry. Ooh. So there, this very shiny piece is a drawer. This typical isotherm drawer with 36 liters, which is good for 10 bottles. It's a drawer to pull out. So you have an option. This is optional. A fridge as well on the flybridge. And then we see something big here, not big, but this is a quite expensive unit. We discussed it a lot today. It's on this piece there for the Bimini.
Yeah.
So this is an electric. This comes from the super yacht. So that's probably a very unique piece.
We use this also on the drop pad actually.
We've been using that since the first day. And it's an electric hydraulic cylinder which is moving all the Bimini automatically forward. And I think at this point, let me think anything else, because then otherwise we could swap again. Now let's go a little bit back, because you see the standard solar panels in the back, because that's also, I think, unique. A flybridge boat with solar panels as standard. And what I really like, I just had a comment, maybe it should be a different material, but a flag pull up. This I really like for the flybridge boat. But
we can see it on the other program.
Let's go in the other program again.
Yes, maybe show here before that we could just show the different version with the Bimini. So here is stored and here is folded out. Okay,
perfect. So this is like the electric Bimini. Again, manual is also possible. And then now go on the side, because I think it's quite good. A little bit more from the horizontal angle. I know you can't turn now. Sorry, you have the picture. Now, you can imagine that it's covering more or less all the flybridge, because the targa is going more or less until the end of the seating area. So, and the Bimini goes to the front. It goes more or less up to the helm, or middle of the helm, where the plotters are, until there. So the Bimini is covering, in fact, the whole flybridge.
And that's one of the benefits with using a targa.
Yes, I know this was discussed a lot.
Integrated Bimini. So Okay, we go to the other program here.
So yeah, here we can see more or less, I think, the more final version of the whole Targa setup. We have something we have been testing already with us. This is the small dash there. This is Starlink. This is like this Elon Musk internet, which works, fully without roaming. It doesn't matter where you are. You have always over the satellite full-speed internet. And then you have different other antennas there. There's 5G antenna, there's a radar antenna, there's the GPS, which was on the other drawing on the front, which was quite ugly, I think. This is now the dynamic positioning system from Volvo Penta. This is this small bug on the starboard side. A big radar antenna with what is it? How do you call them? It's not in the dome. It's a.
It's not the dome.
No, yeah, but how you call them again? A Schlitzantenne in German. I don't know in English. So Schlitzantenne. And then we have a FLIR camera on the top, the searchlight, and on the very top,
the top light.
And this is what I really like, because it's a product which you can buy between 20 euros and 500 euros. And you choose, because it's a safety aspect as well, you choose the 500 euro one. And this is the Lobo light. It's probably the best and well-built lights you can have. You have that on the top light because you have it from the size. You need I don't remember, you need anchor light in combination with the stern light, but you also have them now on the side. This is really again, a very small piece, but which I think is very important to have a very good quality there. And then we see again the flagpole, which I really like being up there, and it's much more functional because downstairs on the bathing platform it can always be a big problem running into it. And then we see a small piece there in the back. That's even the camera in the back, which is also optional.
Yep. Worth also mentioning, you see this is the shaded part here. This is also possible to add canopy covering here all around it.
Yes, this is markets which probably also going to look at that, and the American market is really into something like this.
Yes.
They really are covering flybridge even on bad weather.
Yeah.
And also the customers just before also were asking for sunshade on the sides, because when the sun goes low, you want to have some more protection. So let's go back to the other program now.
Yes. So then I think we covered the things which is connected to the
If you just fly a bit higher again, I just want to point out again that this is, you didn't use the maximum flybridge size. I said it already before. You choose what you think is needed on the flybridge to give space to other functionality. If it's in the back, it's the solar panels, and in the front, it's again the light and the air bringing into the saloon, and again having the center of gravity not too high to make the boat, very seaworthy and very comfortable to use, to ride, to drive.
Good. Okay, should we go to the aft deck?
Yes,
Talk
absolutely.
about the things over here then.
So no, we should start from the back view, because this is very special. This was never there before, I would say, and I haven't seen it. Somebody said there was a sailboat had that before. This glass wall there.
Yeah, it's
you didn't see it even. You were now. What is he talking about? Because you looked at it so often. Nobody had that ever before.
When we do the project in the team, usually I start with the concept, and then the whole team is part of thinking of solutions to engineer it ready, and the whole team is very big part of creating everything. Like we have discussions within the team. Is this good? Is not bad? Does this fit? Is the function okay? So it's really a teamwork when we produce things. Because I have maybe the first ideas, the concept, and the thinking that I should be like this. But quite soon the team joins to develop the ideas, and it should be engineered, And this was one idea that come up from one in the team, that maybe we should have a window here. And I said, no, crazy, no one done this before. It might work. And then we started up to try this, and we made some test for the supplier of this, for us, AirTech. And they think that this is actually working, because we use standard parts that they have been produced for many years. So they are tested, the mechanical parts of it. It's never been put in this way before. So
I've seen some sneak video before. Frederick had it being at AirTech, and it works completely smooth. It looks amazing.
And the main idea is that at least in Scandinavia, we kind of want to be out, but we at the same time we want to get shelter because it's really windy and it's always really tricky with the weather.
Yeah, and the customers from just being here from Mallorca, they said, because you have also like when you go longer trips, you have always gischt, like water being with wind brought up, and you want to have it also protected in the back. And there's also situations, because with having this in the back, you can leave the back doors more open, so you're moving like a locking part more backwards, and having then this amazing big opening, which we will explain a little bit later in detail how it works. So we're moving the final wall of the boat or the final window more backwards.
And we think there are many benefits from this. If you are more in the back towards the harbor, then it's good to just put that down. You can skip some noise, and you can kind of feel private, but you still have a very good view. Yeah. If you compare to a canopy. And then you can raise this a little bit up, like this, because then you have the half. You can have some ventilation. This is half the way now, but imagine if you just open it 10 centimeters, 5 centimeters.
It would just blow a little bit.
But you still are
protected.
So there are many benefits with this, we think.
We should maybe look at this once again in the other program, because then it's also, we can show how the thought about is with the canopy and so on, because this is in the other program. We saw that before. So
should we do that?
Yes,
we can do that.
The canopy, you also said something very, something which I fully underline, that in canopies and boats have not been giving so much thought, and there's a manufacturer from Norway who gave it some more thought, and the ideas they did are good. You want to, even make it maybe a little bit better. So you have some ideas which you realized here about quality zippers, storing of these side canopies, which will be standard with, this back window is standard on the boat.
It started with the back window. It helps a lot, because then you have a rigid part and you just need additional side parts. And where to store these side parts. And we know it was tricky to get, we don't want to have space from this, because that's the compromise. When you choose these rounded windows, you take away possibilities to have hatches or whatever. So the idea with this is that it's in a rail in the top, and you move it backwards, and then you park it in a bag, a fabric bag. So the bag is already there. So you just unzip, fold it, zip again.
And the zippers are, not this zippers we know.
It's really sturdy, and the handles are they are big, so it's like heavy duty.
And also the plexi is like thick, so
the best qualities. Yes.
So to really also on the sides, because you have two fixing points, you can also, you don't need to stretch it, but it's going to be like a wall in the end, because you have two fixing points. So it will be also from the feeling sitting there when it's closed, nearly also having glass on the side, because you have 2 points of fixing.
Actually you have 3 points, because you have in the back, and you have here in the middle, and then in the front. And same on this side, which means that you have this stiff, this part here, and the front part is open, like a door. And same on the store part. So on the port side, when you store the total, you store it here
Because it's the only, because it's long, you can't store it to the back.
Right. And it's
it's
a
also good
place
there
because
next to the stairs.
Yeah.
On the other side, it would be not good to store it front because you're walking around that corner and you want to move it backwards.
Then you store it here.
When we talk about the back window again, can you just go from the, just to the people to understand where the window is stored. So it goes, there's a recess in the roof, and then where this window stops, there's another small recess, and there we find like the hook. Yeah, we're very, a detail where probably nobody, or hardly nobody, probably other Scandinavian manufacturers, but no, sorry to say, no Mediterranean manufacturer will take any energy like where should be a hook. Yeah? So this is like details I really like, and respect that you take this even in a drawing it's already there.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the canopy and then the after window.
Yes.
So if we just talk about the after in general, it's a huge L sofa.
Yeah. The table situation is not final. This is now, I know you made this table there for the customers just being there. This is an electric 4-5 table. There was other bigger table from you. So the table solution there is just not final, because in the other program we just saw a different table.
Yes.
Just for the people. There will be a table, we said before, it will probably be like a table with like foldable from the sides. So it could be smaller and then very big if you want to dine there. But how the solution finally will be is not fixed.
No, it also depends on the customer maybe.
Bit,
but I think this one is a clever choice, because you can actually
really extend
you
it.
can lower it. You can use it just a hang around area, like a lounge feeling, and you can extend it double size. So. Yeah.
And then we have a huge engine hatch. We will later go in the other program in the engine room, and then you have a small fast entry hatch to the engine room, where there's some stairs below, and you will end up more or less in the middle between the two IPS engines. Yeah. But we will look into that a little bit later.
And then you have hatches here as well.
Yeah.
1,
and they
2,
are not
3.
only from the top. Yes, you have to take the cushions away, but if you open them, they have good access because they are like an L shape.
Yes.
So good access.
Good access.
Yeah.
Okay, moving.
Something very new for Nimbus. Nimbus always is known for having the kitchen up. Many Mediterranean, many flybridge boats have had solutions in the past with kitchens down, going port side down before you go into the cabins, or even having them down somewhere in the salon to hide them. That would have never been an option for you.
It's really important.
Like a kitchen for you guys is in the center of the boat, more or less, and you moved it even more in the center of the boat. You didn't invent it, other manufacturers have it as well. Yes. But you decided to use also a solution here from the door, / from the window, to open it completely, connected to that situation with the canopy and the back window. So we are really having an open feeling. So the port side part is foldable. We measured this part to go through there. It's like 70 centimeters going through here, which will feel much bigger because 70 is where your hips are. And this right part slides down. It's an electric window, also old standard, going down, and then you flip this. The customer said it's like in the plane when you're sitting in the first row.
Exactly.
It's like you open this piece and then you fold it out. This is a little bit similar there. So it's openable. You fold that out, which is covering then the window, and it creates a bar situation.
Yeah, and you can also not only a bar, you can also have it as a side table.
Oh, side table. Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to put some stuff and you don't want to walk all the way into the kitchen. And the sliding door, it's fixed, so it's fixed on the top and the bottom all the way in the rail, which makes it very safe. It cannot just fall out. It's fixed in 4 ends.
What I saw before in the drawing, also the lower part of the flybridge stairs can be folded to get to the engine room. So there was even with the gas spring. It doesn't matter, but I just want to say because people are sometimes afraid, so this can be taken away. No. So looking to the inside from there now, I think we should fresh it up the conversation a bit. We should talk a bit about materials.
Yeah.
Because for a existing Nimbus customer to see green will shock him maybe a little bit in the start off, and then he will also see no mahogany. It don't look like oak, which we just started with. So we're having some new materials. I think this couple being here today, they were also a little bit nervous about it, and we presented, you know, this or you brought this, what we're having here lying on the table, and they are absolutely amazed. They love it. So let's start about the main material being used in the salon. This is the wood. We can just show it here from the close view. So what wood is this?
It's popple. We call it technical veneer. So it's slices of popple put together, and then you can choose appearance. This one is light oak look. That's it. So
why? It's also sustainability.
In that sense, that popple is really easy to.
And it also gives the like a reliable look.
It's a homogeneous
inside. But for me, if I would look, I would have said it's anyway oak. Then we're having combined with this a very important part, which is we had been talking about the flooring outside. Then we're talking about the flooring inside.
Yeah, and it's since we use this very light oak, it was impossible to use the old teak koto, so we changed to this, which is then stained dark oak look. This is a laminate with a hard surface, which is good.
And this, we discussed it before, so we have a game between dark, lighter, and then there comes a dark part again, we will soon talk about, and then we are light again. Yeah. So we have this play of colors, but light to dark and so on. Yes. So this is standard in the whole salon. This is standard in the walkway going down to the cabins. In the cabins itself, it's normally carpet, but if somebody wants, he can also have the walking surfaces as well as an option in this material. When we talk now about different colors again, so yeah, we can take this. So because this is, I really like that you described that. So we have again, we went. Oh no, first of all, we need also. Then we have another material. Then, for example, in the kitchen part, as you said. Sorry for moving it around. So we have partly this, but if we would put the whole kitchen in this, it could be a little bit too woody. Yep. It could be a little bit old-fashioned. Yes. So we are playing with materials all over the boat. And then we're having this, in Germany you say Seidenmatt. So we're having this
off-white
color. This is like for me it's like a friend of mine works with kitchens. So it's a really well-painted MDF. I think it's MDF, Michael. Oh, you're a carpenter. This it has a very nice touch. And it's combined again with the popple. Yep. And then when we run then in the kitchen, again, we're having the typical Korean top as the surface. Yep. And this is now then connecting a little bit dark to the flooring. We have this combination, and then we have again this area which is like starting of the height of the kitchen towards the roof, and this is all dark again.
Yeah.
So we're having this A frame, B frame, all the window part.
Yes.
With the all the blisses, which are all the sunshades, or they are all standard. They go even in the front all the way around. You just saw it there down starboard side. We see, so we can close the whole front with this curtain stored on each side. But this is all stays dark, so we have a high contrast to the outside. It's also important when you're going with loads of sun, so you have this, high contrast around the windows, and this gives it, like I would say, a TV effect. Yeah, so you have a black piece around, and then we're going on the roof again, which is then more or less all white, which is partly glass fiber and partly the typical Nimbus panel with the
some structure in it.
In it, as we're having it here.
Yeah.
And then we're going to the cushions again. You said before it's super difficult, but we will then step in again in the kitchen. But I just want to say about the textures. So it's very difficult to make a proper cushion drawing in this 3D. It takes more time than building a whole boat to make it look good. So this looks a little bit, the customers also asked that. It looks a little bit not so perfect, but it's very difficult to draw. Your focus is just explain how it will look.
No, it's more like to find the feeling of a sofa that you have back home. So the backrest is a little bit more loose than normal.
So you have the holding
backrest.
Construction, and then you have a big cushion pillow feeling.
It's bit. More of a pillow feeling. It's a little bit softer with the stuff inside. So.
And then we're having some. No, this is the wrong material. So we're having some panels of this. I think on the wall.
Yeah,
no, this is up front. I thought this is somewhere in the kitchen as well.
You use this here actually on this surface.
Okay, I thought also behind the kitchen. And then we have lights there as well on the. This is very nice. I think. This looks very cool. But this is just for you to show something new. You don't know how many people will choose that, but it's for you to say we are modern. This is a new step, and it's a very special material, sustainable.
Yeah, it's 50% recycled
material. Material from Sunbrella.
Yeah.
There's different colors of that. A typical one, probably chosen very often, what we have already on the Nimbus 305 is this blue one here. But again, we are talking not on semi-custom, but you will be on such a bigger boat. If somebody really has, for example, as Alcantara choice or whatever, there will be some extra cost, but you will not lose a customer for not having his color choice at some point. I would
if
say.
You don't like green, you cannot buy the boat.
So this is the color for the 465. If you don't want it, you don't get one.
No, of course we could. Yes. For that
but I went now too far already a little bit in the interior. Let's go in the kitchen again. We're starting on the port side.
Since the kitchen is such an important part of the coupe concept, we have put some efforts into this as well. You can, if you look at the port side here, there's huge refrigerator,
130 liters with a small freezer as well.
I can just show you quick here, and then we can move into the other program more in detail. Just want to show here's a screen where you can do overview of the boat.
And so to explain, we don't have for example, we have a black box fusion radio, the new 770 or 670, I don't know the name. It's the highest level of fusion black box radio. Then we have the chart plotter, we're having a bus system on board. So all these units, everybody who has a modern house has also these panels at home. So this is in fact a small chart plotter, but these small chart plotters from Garmin are used as the interface, as touch interface for music. You can even watch check the position on the boat on anchor. Yeah. You can do some light scenes on there. Yeah. So this is a multifunctional display. Which is right in the kitchen to organize the boat and see like also consummation of batteries.
All kinds of information.
All kinds of information in the NMEA network of the boat can be viewed there.
Yes. Good. So
and then on the other side, starboard side of the kitchen.
Yeah. Then you have the waste bin.
Yeah.
You start to get tired. We've been talking for 1.5 hours. Yeah. Waste bins, and in the corner you have the freeze.
So this is very sailboat style, a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like a freezer top loaded in the corner, also standard. Yeah. Double sink.
Yes.
We have the 230 cooking plate. We have an oven microwave, a standard, and we show that soonish. We have all the cutlery for 8 person. Yeah. New, like good stuff, like it was good before, but porcelain now, like a little more high quality. And then we have storage above.
Yep. I think we changed to the other program.
Yeah, so that's very good.
Okay, moving to the other program.
Yeah, cool.
So we can show the kitchen separately here.
So now we're again there on port side.
Yeah, port side, you have some for the glass. You have some open storage here to put something in here.
Yes.
You do have also not too deep because that's the stair to the flybeach, but there's some storage behind this
for some
small
herbs,
herbs or it could be whatever small stuff. And then you have, as we said, for this drawer. And if we look at the drawer, we can look at it this way. Maybe you can see that are huge drawers. They are
quite deep. Yeah? We measured them before. They're 60 deep. Yeah. Michel, that's true. Huh? 60
so
centimeters
it doesn't
deep.
Look, from here, it doesn't look they are deep, but they are deep.
Yes, 60 deep, and the upper one is with all the typical, like everybody knows from home, but not so typical on all the boats, like for all the cutlery prepared.
Knives
then we go.
On the other side, you have the double sink, and then the waste bins, and in the corner you have the freezer. Right, and then you have the oven and the hob, and here you have the.
And this is very typical Nimbus again.
Yeah.
Where we have all the
cutlery,
everything so included in the standard in the boats and proper stored away.
Yeah. So.
And then we have something on the port side again in the wall of the salon, which is optional. It's a dishwasher.
Yeah, the dishwasher. Sorry. Yes. So this you can have a dishwasher. If you don't like that, you want to do it manually with your hands.
Then it's a drawer.
Choose a drawer. Yeah. And then on the top, on the starboard side, then you have the fan, and you have some extra additional storage here, and also in that one.
Yeah, for salt, pepper, and so on.
And napkins or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's I think what I like is these two parts of the kitchen, because when I'm not really the kitchen guy, but when I'm with Julia, there's always not enough space. So she could stay starboard and I could stay port, and I'm not messing up the situation.
No. You prepare the onions over there, please.
I cannot mess up. I'm just put in the corner and all goes well, hopefully. And again, the material we showed that before will be the coriander.
Yes.
One question. What color is? What is this texture then? Is that the wood, or?
Yeah, that's
this
the
is
wood.
All wood.
Yeah.
So it's again this combination, wood, and because this we can see there next to the oven. It's the MDF in this side mat, and then we have the wood piece as the furniture there.
And this part here you see, they're a little bit yellow. It's wrong here. It's actually will be with fabric or vinyl fabric, looking almost like leather.
Okay. Do we have that also here?
We're not here. We have it upstairs.
It doesn't matter.
I have to show you another side. Okay, moving into the sofa area. So we do have this U sofa where you can sit around.
Optional, so it's like a star folding table, so it just gets much bigger or go on all the sides out. And it will be optional also extendable at the bed if somebody would sleep there. But also, if you really want to have a cozy evening in front of the TV, you don't need to sit at the table. You can just lower it, put a cushion on top, and it would be like a huge sofa, like a cinema setup. Yeah?
Yes. So, and you have this area over here, then this one here is a stool that you can put away, take out from that.
And use as well with the...
I think I have a picture I can show you quickly here from the interior. I think we have two screenshots from that. 1 minute. Yeah, so here is when it's dinner time.
Dinner time, yes.
And then you take the stool and then you can have additional one sitting plate.
And below the stool, that was quite smart, there's in the wood construction the subwoofer integrated.
Yeah. It's even though it's a big boat, it's always a lack of space.
But I like this is fully fine. Yeah. And then next to it, there's a fixed piece where a standard drawer refrigerator, which is perfectly like there. This is a refrigerator, the same one as you can have as option on the fly, which is here standard 36 liter. Again, space for 10 bottles, some beers or whatever. So that's nice. Even sitting there in the evening, you don't need to enter the kitchen. You can just get it from the salon, from the sofa, and just take another beer or whatever. And then we have the TV. This is optional. I think it was a 50-inch or something.
Yeah, quite big one.
50, quite a big inch, which is electric retractable, going all the way down with the hatch on top going automatically down.
Good.
And then we have, again, want to point out, we have all this shade how you say it, plissés.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all standard on the side there, and again also this curtain in the front, which is I think also not there. And now we can see again when you see the size of the chair at the helm, how big the side door is. How you sit now. Now we are sitting. Go a little bit backwards. Now we are sitting. You just look at this view. You can imagine sitting somewhere, watching some football game or whatever. If you're in a loving football, watching it there, having this door open, having some other boats lying in the bay next to you, and having this side door open and this side walk door there, and you're at sea.
Yeah.
We're looking outside.
Best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So shall we go to the helm? Or
Yeah. So this is not very typical boat dashboards or helmet. So this is a little bit more like a car seating. You have a lot of space for your legs.
Yeah, which is also taken away very often from many manufacturers.
It does it here as well, but we kind of prioritize to have space for your feet.
Because otherwise you're not feeling comfortable on long rides.
No, you will have to sit like this all the time. And
you can stand at the helm, very
Yeah,
important.
sure.
Yeah. Also on many boats not possible. To give more space in the cabins, the foot area is taken away.
Yeah.
So you can flip up, you can stand at the helm.
Yes.
Still you're having not this Sturbro or old Nimbus like the steering wheel. You still have a wheel, a little bit more sportive. And then you have also on the starboard side of the helm, again, this piece coming towards the driver, again with this armrest and the accessibility.
You can change the light here, so
yeah.
I can maybe show it.
No, but you see the accessibility there from the armrest towards the joystick.
Yeah.
Again, the bow thruster and the stern thruster down there, and again this panel down.
Yeah.
There it was just. Yeah, there we can see.
Yeah.
That's all.
Sorry.
No, so very good. Even sitting at the helm, relaxed, you can access the most important controls. We have a small storage in front with a small, how you say, Rollo.
Yep.
2 air condition outlets.
Yes.
Wireless charging in between down there. Also USB and USB-C down there. A big on the left side, the big one for cup holder.
Yeah.
And then here in this view we have twin 16-inch chart plotters in multifunction displays. And when we standard is 2, like 2 is standard. And then we have a little bit space on the starboard side where we could add, if somebody wants some extra unit to be installed. And go a little bit higher, a little bit the view. No, just that we see our position with all the glass. Because, this pilot house negative window gives enormous view. And there's no risk of any reflection and so on because the window is negative. So we really have a very narrow A-frame. And the B-frame is so far back that it's on your shoulders, so you have a perfect view there to each side and towards the front. And we have a defroster system standard over the engines, which is blowing out all over the window in the front. And then we're going to the port side, and the co-driver, as I have been pointing out, I don't know how many 100 times, the co-driver will always be important for Nimbus.
Everyone on board should
be important, but the co-driver has been given always much more attention than in other brands. We had always had this flippable bench, which nobody yet has really copied that well. So lucky we are there. But here we have more space, we have more length, so we don't need to put it together. We also need some space in the cabin below.
You can say that we also prioritize this space because normally you can have a bigger sofa here. Many of them make a huge sofa, but we've stolen some space in order to make this passenger seat a nice one. So you can see 2-3 persons here nicely. 2 and a kid maybe.
Yeah, and I also discussed before, because it's a bit higher, you have a perfect view, and it could be also, again, lying on anchor or being in a harbor at exposed mooring. You're sitting there, go a little bit left, You're sitting there, having your arms, stop. I want this sphere. You're sitting there in the corner, having your arms in the corner on both sides, and you have a full perfect overview what is happening around you, playing with your phone, having an iPad, having a book, and sitting there and it's still the view outside. So it's a perfect place to rest.
Yeah.
We
You
have
can
measured
like
this. Maybe this was from the width there. We had 160 or something. It was quite much. We measured that, so you can easily. I think it was 160 from the port side to the middle area. 160, and then we had in the length to the front. Even if you put the legs there, we were also when you include the way up, we had like a length of around about 170. So you can really relax there. Sitting there comfortable, and then we have a footrest down there, this small inox piece there to also when it's more waves, so you can put your body a little bit under pressure.
Yep.
There's a big handle there to hold yourself. Then we have again a multifunctional display there and an air condition outlet. On the multifunction display, you can even supervise the drive a little bit. If there's a situation which is a little bit tricky, where do we go? Even the route planning could be done there, while the driver is concentrating on maneuvering the boat.
Yep.
There could be support given from the co-driver area, and radio control, like music control, everything running, light control, everything running over it. And then we have a hatch where we can open there, and we have
a small storage area.
Small storage, and then we have some like for a book or some maps or something.
I think this part of the boat is important. When traveling, everyone can take part of the journey. Sitting here, you can have some fresh air from this roof hatch and so on. So
and now what is nice to see is again what you pointed out from the design outside is this going down, how deep you went down with the front window.
Yeah.
This design piece you said, the window in the middle goes even more down, and this gives even makes the window bigger and gives even a better view exactly. to the front. And the actual plotter standing helm is flying a little bit in the room, so it's an island.
Yes.
So it's not the whole helm big. It's just this.
What's missing in this one is actually the compass. It will be placed over here on the pole.
Yeah.
So if someone wonder where's the compass, it will be placed.
This is what I mean here. This goes really a little bit down, and it looks also. I really like that. Oh. It gives it a modern feeling. And everything, all the dashboard is in dark gray.
Yes.
So we don't have any reflection. So again, the maneuverability, the usability of that boat from the inside is not a single compromise. This boat from the inside is like any better probably than every coupe boat ever before. And all our coupe boats have been, top of the usability from the inside. This is what the coupe boat was always about. And now we have a Grand Coupe, sometimes we call it, and it's like a Freiburg boat, and the inside use is best notch.
Yes. Okay, should we move down to the cabins?
Yes. We only have 1 hour 40 yet.
Yeah. I wonder where this will end. Okay, moving down, I think we start with...
We have the flooring we discussed.
Yeah, it's in here. Yeah.
Can you just look up?
Yeah, and you have the window.
Yeah, a little bit forward. Yeah, so we have daylight here. Yeah. This was 4 or 5. We have had that first time, so we have daylight down here.
Yeah.
And then we're having 3 doors.
Yes.
No, 4 doors, sorry. 4 doors.
4 doors.
4 doors.
We go in the first one.
Yes, absolutely.
It's into the master cabin or the aft cabin. It's down here.
So
moving in here.
First time Nimbus ever have taken the main cabin, the middle cabin. It's like a trend in the market.
It is.
Still not compromising in seaworthiness, as we said, center of gravity. So all this area here on the port side is below the seating area on top and below this co-driver seat. So that's how you generated height.
Yes.
We have a big cupboard here on the starboard side with some shelves in there. We can maybe look at this in the other program a little bit later. Then we have here 2 drawers and then a hatch from the top where we have storage behind.
Yep.
This is then we have the big windows. Then we have a small seating area with small storage below. a cupboard on the port side there at the wall, and one even up there. Then we have a small recess there. There's the Nimbus music system fits in there. It's a Bluetooth music system.
It's not here now, but
but it fits there. Then we have another cupboard opening away from the bed, where we can store like a Nachttisch. Then the bed itself is 2 by 160. We measured that.
Yeah.
Reading lights for sure there. Indirect light. We have the material behind the bed, which is this one. So no, we had it. This one here. So we have like texture to make it cozy inside. Yeah. We're having Federkernmatratzen, like very high quality mattresses as standard. I think very hard. No manufacturer has that. That's all stuff people save money, or shipyards save money. So we have high quality mattresses as standard in the VIP cabin as well in the front cabin. Then we have below the bed, there's no storage. It's just there's lots of tanks. I think there's the grey water tank and the waste tank.
Yes.
But then this is very interesting. So we have this launch, whatever you call it. The customers before said she will put all their clothes there because before she get dressed and get ready. We will not have full standing height on the port side. No. This is again this compromise towards the side door, towards the helm, towards all this area to have, functional, good working, no steps, no going up and down.
You traded off to the height on the starboard side because of the sidewalk and.
But what we have there, this is 2 meter long and 60 wide. So this is an extra bed. Yeah, in fact, 80 wide. It was 80 wide. Sorry, you're 80 wide. So this is for the customers, the grandchildren, going to sleep with the grandparents.
Unexpected guests.
Unexpected guests, but liked guests. Yes. They can have, they can sleep in that room. That they love that feeling, having their grandchildren in there. We have on both sides ventilation with these big windows. We have another cupboard there on each side, on the right side of that picture, again at the bed and on the wall, and a big. And then the other cupboard on this side, a big cupboard there, which has this is with shelves in there, so to store like clothes in a shelving system, and then we have a 42-inch TV there as an option.
Yes.
Hooks there on the so
these shelves will be removed. So they
the customer also asked, they didn't like that much, but the hooks are quite smart, so hang some jackets.
Yes.
There. The aircon outlet will be up here. If you go a little bit backwards, will be up there. It will be a chiller unit, very big, for the whole boat as an option. And we will go into some technical options a little bit later. And then we will go, like we came from, if you go a little bit forward, if we came there from the right side, and now we're going into the owner's bathroom, which is only accessible through the owner's cabin. Yep. Then we're having facing forward the shower, separate shower, where we have like a full running window on the port side. We're having like a full mixer, a thermostat system. We have a hand shower. We're having a rain shower on the top. We're going to have this wall. We showed there's the recess from the rain shower, and this wall there is a wall to the next shower we will look later, and this will be it will be letting light through. Yes. So it will not be you only see the light from the outside. You will also be, the room will not end there. Yeah. So you will not be in this dark shower, claustrophobic. So it will be like backlighted from another window. Yep. Then we have a new material as well there. We have Korean tops. I took this as well because I really like that. It's not sheer, this is this one, but it will be similar. So we're having in the Korean situation like a matte sink, and the Korean as well is used on the flooring. Yes. So this is, I think, also is quite unique. So we will have a feeling of having a like a stone floor, which you have in a very high quality house or hotel or whatever. So it's and then again the furniture situation what we have there. So we have this combination of color, the furniture, storage there, electric toilet, a high quality toilet as standard.
And what is interesting also to say is that this fabric here, this whole wall is with
we have this
vinyl.
here. So this is a vinyl.
So give some extra
coziness
and
and noise reduction.
Yes.
So it's a full vinyl, full waterproof, but texture on the wall.
Yeah.
Then we have cupboards.
Yeah. It's actually a mirror on this one. Now it's wood, but it's
a mirror on the upper one. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the master cabin toilet area. So should we move to
the next toilet, the public?
We can go to the public toilet. Yeah.
Yes.
We go in here.
So when we look at the shower compartment first, which is also facing towards port side, and then we're having the left wall there is the wall towards the other shower we just seen before.
Yes.
But here we have the same installation. We have also this piece on the wall, which is now black, will be also all of this Korean, as I understood.
Yes.
And we have a rain shower on top. We again have an electric toilet, fully wall mount. No problem.
Yes,
Fully wall mount. Again, a cupboard with a mirror, storage below the sink.
Yeah.
We have an air condition outlet here, and in the other cabin we have the same outlet more or less like was in the cabin before. It comes from the very high into the toilet room. So both toilet rooms having an aircon outlet.
Yes.
Which is, I think, very important going in the Met.
Okay.
And then we're going into the starboard
Yes.
cabin. There's two options there, which we probably later show a little bit in the drawings.
Yeah.
So this is the one I always wanted. It's the office.
Yeah.
I think in times of home office, it gets another respect to say. But I think everybody who wants to stay a little bit longer on a boat wants to store the books about the region, some documents or whatever is to be stored, because otherwise they will be always lying somewhere in the salon.
Yeah.
So it's a storage room with drawers. You wanna?
I just show you this picture then.
Yeah, that's. So we have 3 drawers. We have a roller on the back side, some storage there. We have a big cupboard facing backwards, and also very big cupboard here in the front, where we can maybe go into the other program, because people just maybe get a feeling there.
Yeah.
And then, first of all, but this is standard as well. Another option is standard, which I think the other program we don't have.
Yeah.
This is also standard.
Yeah.
So we're having 2 beds. So we have then 7 fixed beds, double bed front, double bed main owner's cabin with an extra bed to the side, and these 2. So 7 people, or 7 family members can sleep in a fixed bed situation on board. But because storage is very important, I just would like to swap once into the other program.
So we go to the other program. I think it's better to see it in that one. So we swap. Yeah.
So next we should go into the, what do you call it, VIP cabin, the front cabin.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's, being guest here, I think is not a compromise. That's a very nice cabin, as it has the big windows, what we know from the VTC 11. I have been lying many nights in a boat with a similar window. This is super nice to have this view lying in the bed. And this cabin really is, it has proper ventilation to the top. It has a hatch to the top where you can really open the port light to the front. Super nice lighting system. We have also this panel behind the bed, which makes it very cozy. And then we have even the air condition in a Schattenfuge, in the shadow. So the air condition is blowing on the top of the bed into the room, so very high. And we have, big double bed. If you turn around, we have plisses on the side. We have a cupboard on both sides hanging on the top, which we will show a bit later. A big cupboard for hanging on the port side. Big shelves on the starboard, we show also later. And then we have cupboards next to the bed with also we have this material there. So there will be texture on the top of this material, and this cupboard again will be like we had before with the MDF. And we have big drawers below the bed. And we have storage below the bed. So I would say besides storing guests, the VIP cabin is also a big room for, in general, having probably the most storage of all the rooms in the boat, and that's why I would like to switch to the other program again to show this amazing amount of storage again. And we start with the starboard cabin again. So we had with the office set up there, but the cupboard stays the same. So we have a big hanging cupboard next to the stair casing, more or less below the helm there. And then we have the cupboard next to the desk, which also stays if there's a bed. And this is a room where you neither have shelves in there, or you could have a washing machine installed there in this room. Then we're going into the front cabin, starting starboard side. So we have loads of shelves in this cupboard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. So to store loads of clothes. We have a cupboard on the top. Then we go turning around. So we're having a big hanging cupboard there. We had a height of 180 in there if you leave the lowest shelf out. If not, it was 140. That was also important for the customers before to hanging like evening dresses properly.
Going to the casino in Monte Carlo.
In the casino in Monte Carlo, yes. We also took up there the front away to show there's loads of storage as below. And extra, then we have the drawers in the bed casing there. And then we have left and right. So the whole bed is like with gas springs liftable, like a hatch. And then you have big casing left and right for shoes or something. And then you have a big one above the bow thruster and another one there in front. And in the very front, then there's one of the chiller units of the air conditioning, which is then blowing behind the scenes. So you can show that there's a small edge in the you can see there the aircon is blowing out the unit as we said below the bed. So I think all this this color is all lights, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of lights.
So you can see this is all indirect. We saw the drawing before where you only saw the lights. So the boat has an amazing amount, very modern, but still to be done, amazing amount of lights, indirect lights everywhere to give it an amazing, cozy feeling on board.
Okay, are we through, Patrick?
No. Then all the technical part comes.
So
we need to look once below the flooring. But
yes.
I think with this one, we are more or less through. Maybe we just fly out again to get ended with an outside view, because this is now nice with with all the light scenes going once around. So before we finish this very beautiful view flying around this 465 in this really realistic 3D animation, lying here on anchor and at some very calm, beautiful sea, just going once below the water, because we can see that you have chosen a certain drivetrain as always being there, which is the IPS system within the stern thruster. But all this we can see more in detail in the other program again, to go once through all the specification we have in the boat. So starting in the back in the engine room, we're having 2 IPS 650. The IPS is a system which is fully state-of-the-art. It gives loads of options which supports the captain, the crew in handling the boat, because it's pod drive, it's forward-facing, dual prop propellers, which is giving the boat a very economic cruising speed. So you have been struggling quite much, because you have been always, and me have been always underlining how good the shaft drive setup is in a coupe boat, and it still is. But also many people ask already on the 4.5, why don't you have offering IPS there? Because the hull is not built for an IPS. And IPS is also a system which is developed for boats 12 meter plus. where the typical set drive, which would be not right for neither the 405 or this boat, is the wrong choice because it's giving the boat too much planing, as the IPS is not lifting the boat as the aqua drive, so it's more ending where the shaft is not so efficient anymore, the IPS comes. Plus, again, it gives so many extra options.
Yes.
But it's not black and white.
No.
So there's also advantages on the shaft, which the IPS, there's higher maintenance cost a bit, because you have a unit in the water with quite special oil and so on. So again, we don't need to go there too much in detail about which drive chain is the best. You have done a choice, which I fully underline or support, as it is the one which has is connected to the future. It will bring also things we are not allowed to talk yet about. So you're securing options which will be there soonish. We have options already now, which is calling docking assist, for example, which is driving the joystick, which is an option driving the joystick as a drone. So every time you lose the joystick, it's going in the dynamic positioning system. So the boat is not drifting anymore, or the drone, it would be hovering. So there's many things which are involved there, but we could talk extra on this another 2 hours. When we're talking about these engines, we are expecting a cruising speed between 20 and 24 knots and a top speed of 27 knots, which you have been decided, which are also underlined is what people are expect from such a kind of boat. This is like, or this 2 engines will be fueled or powered by 1,700 liter of diesel, and the other amount of tanks, just to say, it's 520 liters of water. The fuel tanks we see right and left there from the gyro. We go in this room later on, just to say, so this is 2 tanks each side. So when we're staying in the engine room with the 2 IPSs, we have a generator in the back there. This generator is optional. We have in general a 32 amp shore power, and we're having a 660 amp lithium pack as auxiliary battery as standard, connected to 8 kilowatt of, I think it's right, 8 kilowatt of Victron inverters. It's combis, which are chargers and inverters at the same time, the most modern system you can have. Everything controllable again on the multifunctional display. So lithium plus inverter is standard, generator optional, fully how I like it. I don't see, and then you have 330 amp of lithium extra optional, so you can go up to 990, nearly 1,000 amps of lithium, where you can run an air conditioning without a problem for an hour or 2. This needs to be looked at in detail later on, but you can run while driving the boat without problem the air condition, and you will be, because the alternator is also very big and you have the buffer from the lithium pack, but also on anchor for a short time you will be able to run the air conditioning, which is optional. If you want to run it constantly, if you have adding a gyro, you need the generator as an option. Then we have the water maker as an option, which I think is very important. It's on the right side, on the starboard side there. Very important. We have water, we're having freshwater problems in the Met the last year. So I had that myself experienced. You're not allowed to wash down your boat with fresh water from the harbor. So you produce your own water there to do a wash down. Then we have the heater on the starboard side. We have an 80 liter water tank. 80 liter water boiler, water heater, which gives you like 80 liters of 90 degrees. You have probably 300 to 400 liters of hot water. So, the 7 beds, the 7 beds can shower. Again, we're having other installations on the wall like diodes and so on. And we're having, it's like there's 2, if you take a diesel heater, there's even 2 units, one on the starboard, one on the port side to serve. So not one huge unit, so it's 2 units to serve the boat in the full scale. Going in the next room, we're having the optional gyro from Quick, which is a stabilizer system. Then we're having double filter for the engines with where you can change the filter from this big SEPA style filter. and all the installation there in the technical room, which is accessible with a hatch from below the kitchen. This room we measured, if you don't take the gyro, this is a huge room to use. This is 140 by 120 and has a height of 120 by a height of 135. So you can really even put some shelves down there if you wanted to use it like it's a inside of the boat cellar room, or like
Exactly.
a tool storage for some storage for tools, spare parts, or whatever you can think about. If the gyro is placed, then the room will be still around the gyro, but the height above, so you can still put some
still
water.
use it, yeah,
you can still use it, but it's not, you can't go down there anymore and use it as you would, as there's no gyro in. So then we have the gyro as option, but if you go to the back of the boat, please, again, we also have double X600 each side of Humphreys, which we have optional also with the active function. So the stern thruster is optional. This is also proportional. The standard is the bow thruster proportional. Proportional means if I use the switch a little bit, it just gets a little bit power. And the more I push it, the more power gets it. And I can even put it on a fixed position on hold, and then it pushes me, for example, against the wall, and the boat stays where it is. Again, on the stern thruster, this is optional. And then the Humphreys as active are also optional.
Yes.
So going, let's go from the top, please, again. This was the technical room. Yeah, we have the lithium batteries there on the port side and the starter batteries on the starboard side in the flooring there. Then we're having a big accumulation tank in the boat. And this is the chiller unit, I think, there on the port side for the air conditioning. No, this here. Oh, this is the chiller, for the air conditioning, the chiller unit.
Yeah,
and the pump, everything is in here. And then you're having heat exchange units. So there's the cooling fluid going through the boat, and in each room you have then the exchanger who transport the cold fluid into cold air, which makes it very efficient and very low noise. And you can see again the air condition comes out in this room here on the top, also in the guest cabin on the top. So it's very important they're coming out on the high level.
On the helmet position.
Yeah, and this is the one at the helm position.
And then additionally.
Then we're having also a very big, as I said, double freshwater pump with an accumulator tank. I saw it before when we went through some rooms. I don't know where it is now. It doesn't matter really. So you can really have, it's sure that you, all the taps are opening on a good comfort. It's not like the pressuring is variating, and the pressure is also big enough for all the different taps they use at the same time. This is the water tank there in the front. There's two water tanks. One is below the walkway into the front cabin, and then we have another water tank in the very front. The bow thruster has two separate batteries in the very front. This is called the heavy aux in the Nimbus group, or the Nimbus boats, which is also serving then as well the electric anchor winch.
Yes.
What else in the aircon unit we have in the front? Yeah, this is very cool how he cuts just through that boat.
Yeah.
I think we had them all. We talked about the defroster before, which is standard. Let me think about some options I maybe missed yet. We're having electric windows with their one rabinate. We have the electric hob. What have we on the radar? We had. No, I think we ran through most of the options. There's still probably stuff people want, which we haven't named yet, which is also then from the dealer or from your side most probably installable. In general, I want to sum up that this boat has been put together not to conquer your colleagues, your competitors with the best pricing. That was never Nimbus's strengths. I think it was always the strengths to build boats different to the other brands in this size, to give it other values, to focus on core values, especially from Nimbus, to make it the most functional, the most comfortable, And when you take this all in consideration, still probably one of the best boats when it comes to price per value, because you know the value is not only about, you know, what volume of boat, because this is many boat brands put, you know, what can I build for, how big can I build a boat for that money? And you probably, or not, I know you put together what can we put in a 15-meter boat, because we want to match this size as we started the conversation, and can fulfill all the wishes an experienced boater could expect or wish in a boat. And not going crazy on the other side. You know, you can even go more crazy, but then it's like, then you lose the focus. We have a bus system on board, Imperial bus system. I maybe forgot that to mention, because with all these light scenes and so on, it's a programmed system. And so we have been now talking 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
You have been talking, Patrick.
I'm seeing you getting a bit tired.
I've been smiling all the time.
No, I'm really looking forward to see that boat probably the first time in Mariestad, and I'm very thankful that you took that time with me to explain me that all, and being able to show this. And this is not a video, I want to point out, which puts me as a dealer of this boat in focus. This is a video for all the colleagues we have in the Nimbus family, or I have in the Nimbus family, or the dealers you have in the Nimbus family to use. Not at all connected to my company. It's just an information to all potential clients. It's all a video, also video for all the competitors we have, that they know there's something good coming from us. No, not for them, but they I think you are a very respected company from many other brands, and especially for doing something. It's a big job for you guys, because it has the biggest boat you have ever built. It's still it will be a challenge to achieve everything we've seen here today.
Everything is about choices, and you do compromises, but you do choices, what you prioritize in boating, and this is our way of. This is the way we.
Would it be a boat you would love to travel with your family on?
For sure.
Like a month or two in the Med at some point.
I would like that.
Traveling from starting in Mallorca,
for sure,
ending somewhere in Greece.
I take some free time from Nimbus and I just go traveling. That would be nice.
No, I would love to. That's just like, you know, you can. What is different to what I did so far? You could take some friends, family with you, and still being, you know, comfortable and having still your privacy and feeling like you are welcoming them on board. And I don't think there's any need to have a bigger boat when you're a boater. Everything, you know, above this is no need. But they are already, you know, it's you know, if this is a need, then we are already above the scale. Yeah. So this is not. There's also no need for that.
I agree.
It's an amazing project, and I'm thanking all the people behind that of your team, but also the ones who are taking this out to making such a project even possible, to going that way, because I'm quite sure that Germans will like that, and I'm sure I'm going to sell several of this, and hopefully this couple being here today will be one of the first ones in Mallorca, because they have been fully amazed also about this feeling here inside of Nimbus, the feeling of this family, which Nimbus is, we always call it. So thank you very much, Joachim, and that will not be the last time. You will be annoyed by my continuous talking. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.